Okay. Next up, we have Steve Hinion. It's my privilege to call this man a friend. He's helped out a lot today. But Steve's the owner of Home Coach Realty, a small real estate firm here in Raleigh. He's been married to his wife Colleen, who's also a small business owner for over 17 years. They have 3 children. He ran a hotly contested race here in Raleigh for the North Carolina House in 2010. He stays active in his community through continued involvement with Right to Life issues, coaching, and Knights of Columbus. Please welcome Steve.
Good evening, everybody. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. Fellow Americans and patriots, in years past, we've gathered on this day to celebrate the struggle and sacrifice made by our forefathers to establish this great nation. Today, we stand together not as we have done in the past, but do so with an increasing recognition that once again, great sacrifice may be required if we're able to preserve the commitment to individual liberty, which has sustained and nurtured our country. I say to you that America is at war within its own borders. We have battles being fought on our economy, our borders, and our families. We have 2 very distinct parties in this war. I'm not speaking about Republicans or Democrats. I'm speaking of those on one side who want the American way, the way it was intended by our founding fathers, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, versus those who profoundly believe in the power of the state, those who want to strip its citizens of their most basic God-given rights. There are many names dedicated to these 2 fighting forces: patriots versus occupiers, patriots versus progressivism, patriots versus Obamacare. While they have abandoned quaint and antiquated notions of natural rights granted by our Creator, they worship in a very different church, but a church nonetheless. They are followers of the Church of Liberalism. Their sacraments are global warming, abortion, redistribution of wealth, and universal health care. Unlike religion of the Judeo-Christian tradition, they fully believe that the ends justify the means. Whatever the names you and I know, they are after our babies in and out of the wombs, after our education system, after our guns, our money, and after our freedom to worship an all-powerful Creator. The painful reality is that the war against the American Republic is being waged now, at home, by American citizens. For those of you with short memories who view dire warnings regarding the intention of some to remake this nation as right-wing kookery, 2 quotes are worth remembering. The first one: for the first time in my adult lifetime, I am really proud of my country, and not just because Barack has done well, but because I think people are hungry for change. Second quote: Barack knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices. We're going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move in a different place as a nation. My friends, despite the late hour, there is good news. God has provided us more time and an opportunity to get things right again. However, it's unlikely that it's much time. Tonight we'll hear from a number of concerned citizens, just like you and me. Tonight we come together to affirm our resolve, to reassure each one of us here that we are in this to win this war that we didn't ask to fight, but fight we will. For we have no other choice but victory. Our children are depending on it. It is my privilege to introduce the first speaker, Dr. Lipscomb. Dr. Lipscomb completed his internship and residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the Wake Forest University School of Medicine. He currently serves as medical director of minimally invasive surgery at the Maya Angelou Center for Women's Health and Wellness at Forsyth Medical Center. In March 2012, he established Triad Obstetrics and Gynecology, North Carolina's only purely pro-life, non-contraceptive OB-GYN practice. Dr. Lipscomb and his wife Leslie have 3 children. Please welcome Dr. Lipscomb.
Thank you, Steve. So as Steve told you, I'm from Winston-Salem. 4 months ago, I took a big leap of faith and established this only pro-life, non-contraceptive practice in our state, one of the few in our nation. Thank you. I provide high-quality medical and surgical care to women and their unborn babies. I believe life begins at conception. When I graduated from medical school, I took an oath. I think you all have heard of the Hippocratic Oath. I promised to first do no harm. My patients come to me because they trust me as their physician. They know that I do my best to adhere to the highest ethical standard and the highest medical standard. This HHS mandate asserts that contraception, sterilization, and abortifacient drugs are part of health care. Now, you all standing here, I think, would agree that that is absolutely absurd. So what is health care? I have patients come to me every day with infertility. Infertility is a disease. I'm called to restore and preserve the health of the woman with infertility. Fertility is a state of health. Why should I be forced to provide services which suppress a state of health? That's not health care. Amen. I have patients who come to me every day because they're pregnant, obviously. I'm called to care for the mother and the child she carries with the utmost of respect for both. Occasionally the mother will be ill, and occasionally, of course, the baby might be ill. As an obstetrician, every medication that I prescribe and every procedure that I perform must be carefully selected and performed while I first do no harm. Pregnancy is not a disease. It is a state of health. Our humanity and our existence depends on it. Therefore, why should I, a surgeon who is certainly qualified to perform an abortion, be forced or coerced to provide that abortion? If this health care mandate is really about health, then why do you suppose the mandate doesn't offer free coverage for medications to treat diabetes or high blood pressure? These are health care problems. This is just my opinion, and I think many of you would agree. This offer is an attempt to buy votes. Who wouldn't want anything for free, particularly birth control? Mr. President, nothing is free. I will dutifully pay my taxes and contribute my part to our country, but I refuse to have blood on my hands. As a physician and a Christian, I am a conscientious objector. Thanks to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, I'm free to choose if I want to be involved in morally repugnant professional activities. People should be free to protect their conscience without economic threats or legal coercion. As Christians, we are called to serve all people regardless of their faith. As Christians, we are called to love all people, even those who choose to persecute us. As Christians, we are called to live by example, whatever the price. As Christians, we are also called to stand up for what is right. We are not to compromise our beliefs at the whim of some political force. There are several things we are called to do. First, we hold on to our faith. We do our best to adhere to the teachings of our faith. We do not allow our faith to be molded based on political coercion. We adhere to teachings. We adhere to teachings such as, "Thou shalt not kill." We also hope. We hope that by living in our faith, God will pour His blessings upon us and upon our country, regardless of whether those in our country agree with what God's teachings are. Finally, we love. We love our neighbor. We remember Christ's parable about the Good Samaritan. Our neighbor is not necessarily someone who agrees with us. We are called to love even those who persecute us. This love does not call us, however, to roll over and ignore and tolerate what is happening around us. This love should be so great that it calls us to action, to sacrifice, to open the eyes of the blind, to speak the truth, to stand up for what is right. Please, pray regularly to keep the strength, to hold on to your faith, to hope, and most importantly, to love. God bless America.